Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to do a social studies lesson together we're going to continue to learn about the community. So let's review. Last lesson, you learned about communities and what makes a community. So remember, a community is a group of people living in the same place and sharing resources, rules, and laws. We all live in a community, and there are people and places that make up that community. So, our focus question for today, how do people meet their needs in a community? People in communities have basic needs to survive, right? They rely on resources to meet these basic needs. So some basic needs are to be safe, to have shelter, and to have clothing, right? So needs are things that we need to survive. So the vocabulary words that we're going to focus on in this lesson are natural resources, which are resources, different types of materials that are found in nature, for example, like water. And also human-made resources are resources that people in a community make to meet their needs and wants. So today our teaching point is to identify community resources and to learn whether they are natural resources or human-made. So let's look at the chart. So on one side, we have natural resources, and the other side, we have human-made resources. So let's look at natural resources. For example, a forest. There are trees in a forest, grass, right? These are resources that we need that are found in nature. Water is another important resource. We need water to survive. Water isn't human made, it's a natural resource that's found in our communities. And air. Air is very important. We need air to breathe. And that's a natural resource, right? Air isn't something that's made, it's something that is in our environment. On the other side, we have human-made resources. Some examples of human-made resources are buildings. We make humans-made buildings, right? Buildings weren't there, people made them. So buildings they provide us with shelter, right? Airplanes, that's another human-made resource. It wasn't something that was there that we find in nature, right? It's something that people made that we need to travel from place to place. And also another human-made resource are roads. People make roads so that we can travel. We can get from place to place, right? We travel on different types of roads and bridges to get from one place to another. So it's something that we need, but something that didn't exist that people made. So that's the difference between natural resources, resources that are found in nature, and human-made resources, resources that people make. So we're going to focus on some human-made resources. So people who live in a community make these human-made resources. They make these things that they need in their community to help them. So let's ask ourselves, like, why do people make these resources? So look at the first picture. It's a picture of a water fountain. Think, why would we need a water fountain? If you are in the park and you're running, some people go to the park to exercise, or you're playing and you don't have a water bottle or anything with you, right? They made these water fountains to make it easy for people to get a drink of water if they need one if they're in the park. Another example is a bench. Benches didn't exist, people made them. And they made them because they thought, okay, if you're in the park and you're playing or you're running or exercising and you get tired, right, you can sit on a bench to take a rest. So again, these are things that weren't there, but people made them to help their community, right? These are things that help us in our communities. So let's look at this activity. We're going to do this one together. Look at the picture that's in the circle. So this picture, right, that's in the circle, that is a picture. So we're going to answer two questions. Number one, what human-made resource do you see? So this human-made resource is a lighthouse. Lighthouses. So how does it help our community? Question number two, how does it help the community? So lighthouses were not there, right? They didn't exist. Humans made them. Why did they make them, right? How does it help the community? So lighthouses help keep boats safe when they're in the water. So lighthouses are used at night. And in the dark, right, sailors that are traveling on boats and they can't see the lighthouse, when it lights up, it tells sailors where land is. So they know if I follow the light, I can get to land. So that's a very helpful resource, but it's a human-made resource. So your independent activity, what you are going to do, boys and girls, is you are going to look at this picture, right? And you're going to answer these two questions. So in your notebook, get your pencil and a notebook or a piece of paper and write down these two questions. Number one, what human-made resource do you see? And then you're going to answer, I see a, look at the picture, what do you see? Number two, how does it help the community? So you're going to look at this human-made resource and think to yourself, how does this help our community? Why do we need this? Okay, so in your notebook, you're writing down these two questions, look at this picture, and answer those two questions. When you are done, upload your picture to the Social Studies folder in your Class Dojo. Have a good day.